I love animation. I love animation. In fact, in the world of media, my love for animation is surpassed only by my love for Star Wars. Well, for quite some time I've wanted to do animation reviews on YouTube, but for some reason I never got around to it until now. Well, a friend of mine suggested that since I love Star Wars so much, why not combine it with my reviews? So ladies and gentlemen, I present the premiere of Animation Wars, where we see if a film belongs on the light side or the dark side. Oh wait, I've got to get changed. Okay, that's better. Now let's see if today's movie belongs on the light side or the dark side. And no, you can't bribe me with cookies. Home was the only animated movie released by DreamWorks Animation 2015, although it was originally slated for a Christmas of 2014 release but got switched with the Penguins of Madagascar movie. Audience's first look at the film was a short called Almost Home, which almost serves as a prequel to the movie, and it's actually a pretty clever way to advertise it. The story of an unlikely friendship between a teenage girl and an alien was met with pretty lukewarm reception from both critics and audiences, but does it truly deserve its reputation as a mediocre and forgettable movie? Well, that's what we're here to find out, isn't it? Since I like to start on a positive note, let's begin with a light side point, and that is O. Innocent characters can be hard to pull off. If you go too far with the naivete, they can just come across as stupid, but if done right, innocent characters can be wonderfully endearing. And O, surprisingly, is the latter. He's the sort of innocent who always wants to be friendly and help out, but his klutziness gets in the way. However, he keeps trying to help in spite of that, and there's something very appealing about a character like that. I also love the Boov dialect. The broken English seems to annoy some people, but I find it absolutely adorable. The grammatical errors are well placed, you can easily understand what they're saying, but there are also errors that you wouldn't normally think about.
Can I come into the out now?
O's relationship with Tip is also very genuine, which leads us to our next light side point, Tip. She is a very well-rounded character, perhaps one of the more well-rounded teenagers in animation. Sure, Rihanna was probably cast mainly for the name recognition, but she does a surprisingly authentic job voicing Tip. There are many nice little touches that help flesh out her character, such as how she came from Barbados, just like Rihanna, and how she got an A in geometry. Not to mention that she has an adorable kitty cat who takes a liking to O's head. Seriously, I just want to pet that little head and massage those little ears. Also, the way she misses her mother is genuinely touching and adds a nice emotional edge to the story without overdoing it. And speaking of emotional edges, that leads to our next light side point, O and Tip's relationship. We've definitely seen this type of story before, where a human child makes friends with an alien or other strange creature, but this movie uses that cliché well. There are many wonderful moments that make you really feel for their friendship, whether it's Tip teaching O what a joke is or O learning about art. It manages to be touching without ever being sappy, and it's full of quirky humor. Speaking of which, another light side point, the humor. I swear, the humor in this movie doesn't get enough credit. There are so many clever touches, such as how O remodels Tip's car with convenience store items, how the Boov value cowardice, and how Captain Smeg uses common human items for his own purposes. Speaking of which, Steve Martin makes Captain Smeg a downright hilarious antagonist. Hell, even the mandatory bathroom humor manages to be clever.
I too has to break P, or as you calls it, the number 1. We also has the number 2.
Okay.
And the number 3.
Okay.
It is a good thing I does not have to go the number 3. It would not be safe for you.
Alright, lest you think I'm being a bit too positive, let's have a dark side point. Oh, and spoilers. The Gorg twist doesn't quite work. Towards the end of the movie, it's revealed that the Gorg, the Boov's feared enemy, is actually this starfish-like creature who was in a scary suit, and he was only after the Boov because Captain Smeg stole a rock that turned out to be an egg sac, or incubator, or something. It's an alright twist in theory, but when you take it with the rest of the movie, it doesn't really make a lot of sense. For one thing, the Gorg has been apparently destroying planets in search of this egg sac, any one of which could have had the egg sac on it. Yeah, not exactly the best strategy when you're looking for something the size of a rock. Plus, we don't know whether or not these planets were inhabited, so I'm not going to get into that. Plus, since the Boov are cowards, why did the Gorg wear that scary suit at the truce meeting? Didn't he think that it might cause trouble? And what made the Boov and the Gorg enemies before Smek stole the egg sac? Seriously, you could have omitted the twist and the story wouldn't have been all that different.
He was just like humans, girl. He was sad mad.
While not nearly as good as, say, Kung Fu Panda or Megamind, Home is still an underrated DreamWorks gem. The characters are very appealing and the humor is top-notch. While the story may use some cliches, it utilizes them well. Therefore, I declare this movie property of the light side. Anyway, thanks for watching and let me know what you think in a comment. I'm going to try to get these reviews out about once a month, so if there's an animated movie you want me to review, leave a request. I can't promise I'll take every request, but I'll definitely consider them. Until next time, may the animation be with you.